Hello, welcome to the Dumpling Difference discussion show. I am Holly, and it is Tuesday, September 26th, and Steve is stuck in traffic, and we are going to hope that he is able to join us shortly. He asked me to move it till 5, and so I did, and then he said that he was stuck in traffic and didn't know if he was going to make it. So, he might just get stuck with me for a little bit. Let's see. Anyway, the cartoon characters, I will tell you, it is on a app that I use called ToonMe, ToonMe, and I just have the free version. And a lot of those I went into stickers, and I made a bunch of Steve and I. But the only bad thing is that they changed the app a little bit, but so I don't know. I don't like it as well as when I first started. I could get some other things, and they never change the stickers. Like once in a while there might be one new one in there, but like once you get the whole grouping or whatever, it's like they don't bring enough new stuff in. So anyway, that's my only complaint. Steve says he's in the car listening. I said, just prop your phone up and start talking like you do on your Curry Lives all the time. But anyway, he's in traffic. I'm sure he has to pay attention because it's probably the rush hour evening traffic, I assume. So I know he has had some stuff that he wanted to talk about with Dumpling that he had going on, and I have no idea what those things are because he has not shared them with me. I don't really have a whole lot of news except to tell you, which will be so greatly surprised by this, that yes, I told you my book was ready last week, and then I started second guessing myself and wanted to edit a few things, and so I've been editing this week. I swear to God, one of these days you're going to get this book. I swear. It'll be worth it when you get it. Steve says he has notes at home. We are moving now. He has notes at home, so he must not remember what he was going to talk about. I don't know. Anyway, I had a meeting right before I came on here today with a company here in Sarasota called Coastal Concierge, and they offer concierge services for Airbnbs and hotels. And he said because most places don't even have a concierge desk anymore since COVID, so he started this company, and they offer everything under the sun that you can imagine. Anyway, so I am now partnered with them with my resort business, and I am their grocery delivery person. So when they get grocery orders, they will come to me. So I'm very excited to be starting that. That's my big dumpling news of the day. And I don't know, I've just kind of been in a funk today. How's everybody else doing mental health wise? Is anybody else having a hard time? Is it a full moon? Is it just me? I don't know. He says 25 minutes to home. I don't think I'm going to make it 25 minutes. Let's see, what else do I have going on here? Let's talk about, hold on, I got to grab something. Okay. The book, in case you haven't seen it. It's here still. The font is big, so if you have trouble reading or seeing things, you'll be able to read this really well. It shows up tiny on the screen when I'm actually putting it on my phone or my iPad, whatever I happen to be using that day, but it prints out way larger. But I did get a new printer because when we were in Colorado and we stayed at this Airbnb, they had this printer that has an echo tank for ink. I don't know if any of y'all have that or not, but I was going through so much ink on my other printer that everything was I was going through cartridges every month, and it's like $50 to replace all the cartridges. So I got this new printer for just over a little bit over than $200, I think it was. So not a hugely expensive printer, but I've printed a lot and really haven't even made a dent in the ink, and it looks great. So if you still have the old-fashioned individual cartridges that you're replacing all the time, I highly suggest this Echo printer. So I got that right after I got back from Colorado. Let's see, what else do we have going on? What do we have going on? I don't know. Things have been slow. Even Dumpling's been slow for me this summer. Been doing a lot of DoorDash. What questions do you guys have? Let me flip through here and see if there's things that jump out at me that we need to talk about. My dumpling chapter ended up being the longest. It's funny that I thought when I started writing this it was going to be like 10 pages. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry. All right, I'm going to read you a little bit from this. I'll read you my tips and tricks. Tips and tricks to success. This is what my great advice. My thing just popped off. Yeah. Okay, my number one tips and tricks to success. Go the extra mile for your clients. In the Boss app, under the Clients tab, there's a space for notes. Use that area to input your regular clients' birthdays, anniversaries, or other special dates. Pick up a card and a little something you can drop off at their door. Don't wait until the next time they order. Do it on their actual special day. It will mean more that you went out of your way. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It can be a cute $5 candle. It truly is the thought that counts. Also, keep your eye out year-round for little things on clearance, so you have a few things on hand to choose from when those days do pop up. And I have done that for a couple of clients, and I can tell you that it was greatly appreciated. Number two, I have look on social media for local groups like small business networking groups or any kind of social groups in your community and join them. You can post on those groups ads, info about your business. Make sure to check each group's rules, as some do not allow promotional posts, or they have rules about how often you can post promotional material. Some groups specify certain days you are allowed to post ads. One of my local groups has Small Business Saturday, and that's the only day you can advertise. Don't let your promotional post be the only time these groups see you. If you comment on other posts and interact with the group, that will build that trust factor. Most of us who work in the gig economy full-time use multiple apps and stay busy most of the time. We are used to hustling and try to make as much money as we can in whatever time we have. Some of us, okay, I am referring to myself here, can get a little obsessive. Many times we neglect other things and put them on the back burner. We laser focus on bringing in the money. I know I'm very guilty of that. Not that we're greedy, but we all have financial responsibilities that we have to meet, and sometimes it is just our competitive nature. When you start your business, it will be your business and your responsibility to find clients. If you are listed on the marketplace, you will have some clients find you, but not enough to solely count on the Dumpling app to provide your entire client base. This is advice I should have taken from the beginning, but I let myself get distracted. I am now just now starting to implement this. I can admit my failures and I learn from them. I hope by sharing this with you that I can help you succeed and build your business more quickly. Schedule a few hours or maybe a half a day, one morning or afternoon, that you set aside for strictly working on building up your client base. Take your flyers, hit the streets, talk to some businesses that would be willing to post one of your flyers in their store, or talk to a local business that doesn't currently offer delivery and ask if they would be interested in partnering with you. This can be a win-win situation for both parties, as the other business could increase their sales without any cost to them, and they can tell their customers about your business. In turn, and that can be a boutique, can be a restaurant. I mean, any business. It doesn't necessarily have to be groceries or food, but any business that doesn't already offer delivery. In turn, you could start mentioning their business in your marketing. You could contact a local butcher, specialty cheese store, a boutique, a local bakery. The possibilities are endless. I offer I also offer restaurant delivery, but I don't deliver small single orders like we deliver for DoorDash. I make it clear to clients and restaurants that my delivery service from restaurants is strictly larger catering type of orders for events like parties, meetings, etc. Locally owned restaurants or food trucks would be good to contact if you want to try delivering large orders. It's time to turn up the hustle. Just a different type of hustle. I'll call it the client roundup. Building a solid client base has got to be a top priority for all of us who want to commit to this business. Without clients, we have no business. This approach can be a game changer. So there's a little taste of part of my book. And I know I am 100% so guilty of, oh, well, I need to go do DoorDash right now, and, I'll work on that later, and I put things off. I am a terrible procrastinator, and the things that sometimes I put off are the most important things, because building that client base is very important. And yes, I have gotten a lot of clients from the marketplace, and Steve says his have all come from word of mouth. But I don't feel like I have as solid of a client base as I should for as far as I am. And I don't have anybody to blame for that but myself, because I don't take that time. So it is something that I have to do. I've got to set aside half a day. And with the resort business as well, I have to do the same thing. Because yes, I am partnered with a couple of companies right now, but I need to also hit the ground and go talk to the resorts, the hotels, find people that own several Airbnbs. Again, it's same thing as a personal delivery, but with the resort. And let's see here. I think I just saw something about that. You have a follow-up to my weird shopping adventures in Denver. Ooh, I want to hear about that. Steve says, talk about dumpling for resorts or vacation towns. Well, we did cover that a little bit last week. I think, was it last week? I can't remember. It is such a totally different program. And right now I'm running both programs. And if resort really takes off, then I don't know. I hate to drop the personal side because I've put so much work into my branding and everything. But I also hate to pay for both sides too. So, let's see. My wife works at Target. She says the security cameras are very good and the hard drives are big. They create folders on each shoplifter and they add up the total dollar amount they take. That's interesting. Do they have shoplifters that come back and shoplift from there again, like duplicate times. Anyway, obviously the resort part of Dumpling is only going to be beneficial if you live in an area that gets a lot of tourists, like Sarasota. I know there's one in Vail, there's one in Jackson Hole, Orlando. But if you live in those places that do have a large tourism, then especially if it's a money area like Vail, I'm sure, I mean, I was going to say I can't imagine what the guy up there makes, but I can because he told me, which I won't share because that's his thing to tell, and I would never tell anybody's income on here. But I can tell you that it changed his life. And we're going to have him on here as a guest. Probably, I don't know, I need to talk to Steve about this. But soon, within the next month. I talked to him for an hour and a half on the phone, and he was fascinating and had so many good ideas that I was blown away. Okay, to finish the Target story. They add up the total amount they take. They call the cops when the person reaches the magic dollar amount, and they go straight to the felony. That is why you don't see these stores intervening. It was weird. That butcher got involved. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, every retail job I've ever had, they tell us not to get involved, not because they're adding up what they take, because, I mean, usually people are walking out the door before anybody would try to get involved. But they didn't want you to do it for safety reasons because they were afraid that this person would do something to you if you tried to stop them. So, yeah, just let them walk right out the door. But you're right. Most places do have cameras, so hopefully they can catch most of them. I heard a story about one girl that stole some stuff from Publix. She got all the way home, and I don't know if the store got her license plate number or how they tracked her, but they let her go all the way home and sent the police to her house, and she got arrested at her house because she had stolen from Publix. She was pretty crazy. But I remember when I worked at Dillard's and people would come in and steal handbags, and I never saw anybody take them out of Dillard's, but you would go and like a certain spot would be empty or whatever. I just don't know how they managed to grab like 5 Michael Kors bags and walk out the door and nobody sees it. It's crazy. Anyway, okay, so back to resort. The lady in Orlando, I think she's got a pretty fascinating business, and I would like to get a hold of her, which I've tried. Hopefully they will get back with me one of these days. But it says that they have Disney characters, former cast members at Disney that deliver their groceries. But she also does a lot of the Disney properties. She does not do Airbnbs and stuff. And I know that a lot of the hotels and stuff, I mean, really, and on the resort side, it's mostly pre-arrival. So she probably doesn't actually have that many that she does in costume, I can't imagine, because she probably doesn't see that many clients. Now that I think about that, I hadn't really thought about that before. But resort is mostly pre-arrival, where you're setting it up before the people even arrive from vacation. They walk in, everything's in the fridge, put away, the beer's cold, they're ready to relax and have a vacation. However, the company that I partnered with, when I spoke with him today, he did ask me, if somebody's here, they've ordered already pre-arrival, can they reorder groceries while they're here if they need something, 3 days down the road, will you do same day? And I said, yeah, absolutely, they can do that. But so you'll have those instances if you do resort that come up, but it's mostly pre-arrival. and they have to give 48-hour. At the 48-hour mark, they have to finalize their order. And if they cancel within that 48 hours, they normally lose their $20 deposit. So, and I need to check with Dumpling to see if that is standard for everybody or if that has to be specified on your site. Because I did see it was specified on the Vail site. And I put that on my paper that I turned into Dumpling when they set my website up. So that's actually one thing I need to write down so I can check with them to make sure that that is standard. So, I mean, I signed up on the resort back right before I went to Colorado. So it was the beginning of August. And I don't mean, when I say it's moving slowly, I don't mean that like the resorts aren't busy or whatever. It's just that I was partnering with these companies and I thought that I was going to be going live with both companies like right after I got back from Colorado. But the whole setup process and all that has taken a lot longer than I expected. So it's just now starting. So even though I've been on there 2 months, it's just now really like I signed up yesterday. Ask about, hold on, let me make a note. Ask Dumpling about 48 hours. I don't know what that means. They have the one difference with the resort is they do not download an app to order from. They order from your custom made website that Dumpling makes for you. And you will have an app as a business owner, but that's only a management tool. So even if you have employees, say you're the business owner and you have 5 employees, they have apps, but the ones that your employees have versus the one you have will be a little bit different because you will be able to control what your employees see. That way they aren't getting any sensitive financial information or any maybe private customer notes that you want to put in, because the business owner has an area that you can input notes about a client that maybe only you need to see. So you have a difficult client and you want to put in there, Mary Jo is really a Karen, so make sure you do X, Y, and Z. And that might not be something you want all of your employees necessarily to see, but you might want to put it in there for yourself. So you can put that under private notes, and you have another area that you can put in notes that whoever you assign the order to would see. I've heard some people will have employees that just do the shopping, and then somebody else comes to the store and picks up the order, and the other person starts shopping the next order because that's how busy they are. That would be amazing if I got that busy, and I hope so. But the person that owns the Vail Grocery, he's got a deal set up with his local grocery store where they gave him freezer space in the back of the store. So he can shop like 5 orders and have them in the freezer in the back, grab 2, go deliver them, come back, grab the other 3 or whatever. So, I mean, he's got it down to a science. He's done really well. So he gave me a lot of ideas that, make sure you ask the store about this. And he just has certain locations that he shops in. That way he builds relationships with the managers. And so they do a lot of things for him. So I guess it doesn't hurt to ask because he had great ideas. Anyway, I can't wait to have him on because he's really great. What else do you want to know about resort? feel like I think once I start working more resort orders and get into all the nitty gritty of it, I think I'm going to have a lot more to tell you. That, I mean, I know how it works. I know all the facts of it, but it's like reading a manual. You read a manual, but then when you actually do something, it's going to be different. Yeah, I've done the resort orders before. I did it within my personal grocery, and I like that part of it because that kind of taps into my creative side as far as, and this probably sounds stupid, but just, putting stuff in the fridge and making it look nice, and, arranging their stuff on the counter with their fruit or whatever. I don't know. It just kind of lets you be a little more creative than just dropping stuff off in the dirt, as Steve would say. Steve says, if I what? I think I'm just a little punchy today because I'm tired too. I'm not getting much sleep this week because I'm covering a paper route, actually, for someone that I know. And I have a helper. So basically, I have to drive and then they throw the papers for me. So these people are out of town for a week, and so I'm covering for that. So I'm basically not sleeping this week. That's probably why I'm so punchy. Okay, Steve says, if you spent 2 focused hours a week on Dumpling, what would you spend it doing? I think I would spend it exactly what I said earlier, and that's trying to build my client base. I think I would have flyers in hand and go find my customers. Oops, shoot, sorry, I hit my horn. And when I say find my customers, I mean more go speak to the businesses that don't offer delivery that you could partner with, so they can advertise, hey, you can call this person if you want delivery. Matter of fact, I found a barbecue place the other day. Actually, I was picking up DoorDash, so I know they have delivery, but I'm still going to go back there because they are a local barbecue place, and they've had write-ups in the paper and stuff about them, but I'd never heard of them, and it smelled fantastic. Oh my gosh, gotta go back there and eat. Anyway, they have this catering kitchen that I picked up from, so I want to go back there and just talk to them about their larger catering orders, because like I said, I know they have DoorDash for their smaller orders, but um, places like that you could still go and talk to about catering orders. Steve said, just pulled up to the house, running inside, be on in 5. Hurry up. Yeah, we can't stay on very long, which I know because Show Me the Money Club comes on at 6, and they are going to be doing a live interview with the CEO of Lyft. So at 6 o'clock Eastern time on the Rideshare guy, and I think Steve has to go over there and moderate or something. So, of course, he was out on a curry run, probably making $300 to go drive 10 miles. I've been doing some catering orders on Delivered. Have any of you tried Delivered? I think it's a very good catering app. So I added that. And then the other one that I added recently was, what's the name of it? Starts with an S. Somebody help me. Shoot, I can't look. Dang it. Well, hold on. Let me look. Thank you. My mic was off. Okay, let me start again. The app that I was talking about is Senpex, Senpex. Do any of you do Senpex? I downloaded the app and I onboarded, but every time they send me something that says they have something in my area, it goes so fast that in the 2 minutes, since they've sent it to me, it's gone by the time that I see it and click on it. But the orders don't come through frequently enough, like Instacart, to where you'd want to just sit there and stare at your phone waiting for one to come in either. So I don't know. I hate that I keep missing them though, because I really want to see what that's all about. And I heard they pay really well, and I heard they're transparent. So, that's a couple of our criteria there. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. If you've checked them out and you do deliveries for them, let me know. I would like to know. All right, let's see. I've lost my train of thought. Do you think that we'll start doing cannabis delivery? They do it in Toronto. I think that's going to be the next thing for the United States. I think it's going to take I bet in 10 years, it's legal everywhere and people are delivering it just like alcohol, which I would rather see them have that than alcohol anyway. And Pedro talks about that he gets delivery orders for cigarettes, but I never see those on any of the apps here. So I don't know if it's a Florida thing. And I've had clients or customers that have me get cigarettes for them. And they're like, oh, I'm so glad you delivered, tobacco. Nobody else does. We can't ever find anybody to deliver it. So that must be state law. It must be different in every state, because like Pedro says he gets it on DoorDash. Hey, and if you guys haven't checked out New Jobs America, now I'm going to sound like Steve, newjobsamerica.com, you need to check that out and look at the legislation that is pending to hopefully be a bill called Be My Own Boss. And take a look at that and see how important that is. And it's going to ask you to call or email your federal senators, which you have 2, and your member of Congress, which you have 1. If you do that and forward that information out to some friends, we're just trying all not to be employees everywhere. Unless it legalized at a federal level, you would never deliver marijuana, because you're afraid you'll get arrested if it's legal in your state but not legal federally. Is that why? I assume. It does seem kind of stupid. I mean, it's state by state. So then, like, if you travel and you're going from a legal place to a non-legal place, then you can get in trouble, and it is a mess. They need to just federally take care of it. I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind how, like, alcohol is so socially acceptable and nobody even blinks at that. Yet it's so much worse for you and kills so many people and almost killed my son. So I don't know. I don't get it. It's like people have been so brainwashed from birth about alcohol that they don't even think twice about it. And I admit, I used to be a drinker. I quit drinking probably 12 years ago, I guess now. So, I mean, I get it, but I also saw what it can do. So, bye-bye. Don't do that anymore. Let me see if Steve's backstage yet. Nope. Yeah, that's true. With delivery, you could have large amounts with you at once. And that is prohibited on the Dumpling app, by the way. You are not allowed, even if you live in a legal state, you could not go pick up any marijuana products to deliver. On the personal grocery side, on Dumpling also, you are not allowed to put tobacco or alcohol. You cannot pay for those with your boss card. So if you have a client that wants those things, you can get it for them, but you have to pay for it out of your own pocket. You can't put it on the boss card. Now, with the resort side, you can get alcohol on the boss app or on the boss card. So they must have worked something different out with the credit card company, or maybe they use a different one for the resort side. I'm not sure why it's one way on one and not on the other, but it is. Because I got in trouble when I very first started Dumpling because I was getting a client cigarettes at the 7-Eleven and using the card. And then they had to call me and say, you can't do that. So I was like, sorry. So, which is cool. I mean, at least they were cool about it. Nobody deactivated my own business or anything. So, but it's like, it's one of those TOS things. If somebody doesn't tell you and you didn't read the TOS, which most of us don't, you wouldn't know those things. So if somebody ordered something like that, you would think, well, okay, that's, it's legal and it's right there. So you wouldn't have any reason to think they didn't deliver that. Has anybody been following, I'm sure like probably half the people have, the crazy mom, Ruby Frankie? It's in jail in Utah for abusing her kids, and they had that YouTube channel. That's a crazy ass story. I hope she never gets out of prison. I hope her husband joins her. Oh, Steve's here. Welcome.
Hi. Hold on, let me pin. I just connected my live too, so I just want to pin it to come over here like we did last time. But while I'm doing this, I don't think you can deliver cigarettes anywhere.
No, Pedro says he gets them on orders. Swear to God.
They're calling him or something. I don't know. I don't think any state allows it.
No, I know he said that. Because he's mentioned it more than once.
Okay.
I mean, I know clients
it's just weird. I don't know that you can do that.
Well, and I thought that you could on Drizzly. I thought they delivered tobacco, but I might be wrong on that.
Drizzly is just alcohol.
Is it?
They don't have yeah. When I was running the bar, no liquor companies they're not even allowed to touch cigarettes. Like, we had a cigarette vendor that came in and would deal with that on their own, totally, like Camel cigarettes or whatever. They would come in and stock when we had cigarette packs to sell in the bar.
Right.
They had to come on their own. They can't be involved with liquor companies. That's why I think I just thought it was weird.
Remember when there used to be cigarette machines everywhere? Vending machines for cigarettes? Do you remember that?
Yeah, actually I do, with the pull things.
Yeah, the pull knobs.
Like, you'd put your money in, you pull that thing, and it just shot a pack out. I remember that.
Yep. Isn't that funny?
Okay.
Looking for?
No, I just did that thing that we did last week, where I'm streaming it on mine, and then I'll just make it unlisted. And
Right.
so I just went into mine and pinned a link saying join Holly's stream and sub. So if you're watching on mine, see in the right now, I can't see it in StreamYard, but you're seeing, and it might not be real time. It screws up sometimes, but you're
Yeah, I
seeing
see it.
now both people in both streams though. So like the count is people like I just on mine there's 3, on your it's showing 5, so or whatever. So they should all, like on YouTube it'll only show who's in yours, but on StreamYard it should show who's combined.
Right. Yeah, I've got StreamYard open. So.
And you'll see all the comments. If you let 5 people onto a stream and you let them all restream it in each YouTube live, you'll see the comments for that YouTube live. They don't cross, but in StreamYard you'll see all of them, all 6 streams.
Yeah, I remember when we did that last week, and it showed.
So
it shows something else, right?
I have a question though. So why am I not? It's so weird. There used to, if you used to type in just a broad search for Denver of dumpling people, there was, I don't want to say tons, but there was a handful for sure. There was a handful, and like there's none now. There's me.
Because they've either got enough clients that they remove themselves from the marketplace by opting out, or they haven't had an order in 30 days and aren't meeting the criteria for it any longer.
Yeah, see, that's something that I think that you and I should address with the company, because honestly, I'm now thinking that because they moved away from have a free option when you start free or choose to pay, and then the enterprise level, but there was a free version, and it just meant that a bigger percentage was taken from you and a little more from your customer as well.
Much bigger percentage, yeah.
Right. So, but when they took that away, I think that right there, when every plan turned to it needs to be pay, I think that should keep you in marketplace as long as you're paying. Because I guess what I'm saying is I think those rules about you need to do a shop every 30 days were written, the free version was out. In fact, I know it was. And now that they've taken that option away, I think they need to revisit.
Yeah, you're right.
Every 30 days you need to do a shop or else.
Right. Yeah. If I'm paying $29 a month, keep me on the market.
I mean, it's just a personal opinion of mine. I feel like they changed
one
thing.
Right. I hadn't thought about it, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah, like it's, I mean, if you went on a cruise for a month. And here's my thing. I'm wondering, sometimes with these companies, they hear it from us first, not like necessarily you or I, but from a person or a shopper. I'm wondering if like Joel doesn't know, or not doesn't know, but didn't think of it.
Right.
Like, I wonder if this would make, because knowing him, it would make very logical sense. Hey, Joel, you don't have the free option anymore. Can people, why, if people are paying, why aren't they in the marketplace?
I'm writing that down.
know. I make sure that I'm, like I heard you saying that it's been slow, but I got to say that, yeah, I mean, I got to say that I think that that's wrong. Either that or bring back free. And I can understand why free was a bad thing for everybody, because free allowed people to, because initially if somebody joined up free and then started doing well on Dumpling, then they moved away from it, and that changed the customer's price, meaning they were actually initially with the free one, they were probably paying a little more inflated price that kind of bumped up against Instacart pricing.
The customer's price
nothing changed for them.
No, the only thing that changed,
the percentage to them, nothing was what was the take.
Yeah, no, the percentage was always the same to the client. It's the only thing that changed was the percentage that you were paying for your credit card, for using the credit card or whatever, was, oh shit, sorry, almost ended my stream, is taken with the pay versions, is only a percentage of your earnings. When you had the free version, it was a percentage of the grocery total and your earnings. which you were paying a much bigger fee to Dumpling that way.
Do you? I don't remember. What was the free percentages? Do you remember?
It's a little bit. It was a little bit higher.
I mean, were they way higher?
It wasn't that it was way higher, but it was the grocery total that killed you.
Okay.
I could go back.
What is it now? What is it? Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, if you did a $200 order.
All right, hold on. Let me check this real quick. Right here.
Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're watching on my channel, I came on late. Curry, I know that everything's been a little slow, but Curry's been off the hook because gas prices are up. And when gas prices go up, Curry offers go up to the lower tier vehicle sizes because nobody's going to take their box truck out at the rates that we are at right now. Here in Denver, the average is we have 3 grades of gasoline. I know most states only have 87 and 89 octane. We have 85 too. We allow some trash. So the 85 is at 389 average. The 87 is at 419 average, and the 89 is at 439 average a gallon. I mean, it's not California where it's 4.99, but guys, it's not that far off, to be honest. It's pretty expensive gasoline out here right now. Now, I use discounts and other things. I use, there's most people probably don't have it outside of Colorado, but we have King Soopers, which is owned by Kroger, and you get points. And as you get points, you get discounts on your gas. So that's another thing with Dumpling is that whenever possible, if the customer doesn't need me to run, if they want it run on their phone number, I do that because some of them collect their points as well. But I have 2 clients who don't care, and they're just like, just put it on yours. So, I mean, they basically get me a 70-cent discount on gas each time I do a shop for them per gallon. So it's really good.
Hold on, I'm checking something.
While she's checking, if you're watching on my channel, come over to Holly's channel and click like and subscribe, because in 8 minutes I gotta go. Sergio and Chris asked me to I think they're giving me, they don't really give them to anybody, but they're giving me a mod wrench for the day, and then they're going to take it away after today, which is kind of weird because, like, if I do a good job today, why wouldn't I be able to keep it? So, but they're giving me a mod wrench because and they were, it's nothing to be over the top, but Sergio just wanted to make sure nobody was, while he had Risher on, nobody talks. So no politics, no religion talk, and no hate or outrageous language type stuff. That's the only thing I'm supposed to mod. So if you're doing that stuff, and if you see I kicked you out, that's why. Otherwise, I won't kick anybody out. You can say what you want, just do it respectfully. They have the CEO of the second largest rideshare company in the United States of the 2. Basically, there's some other small ones, but Lyft even would be in the top 5. It's in the top 4 or 5 still, even though it's hurting right now in the world, even though they're just in the United States, the amount of volume that they do. So like Ola and some of these Didi and all the other ones outside of this country, Lyft is still up there with their volume. So he has, having that CEO on, usually those interviews go to Harry, and Sergio is not Harry. So I think Chris is gonna kind of mind the Sergio store, and I'm gonna try and help with the modding of the room, which hopefully I don't have to do anything. But
okay.
We'll see.
Okay, so currently,
did you see?
Currently, the processing fee is 2.7% plus 30 cents. Okay, of your earnings. Now, when it was free, it was a little bit higher. I think it was 3.5% plus 30 cents. And it was on groceries and your earnings. So here's an order that I had that the groceries were $238.92. My processing fee. Oh, by the way, I earned, because this was a really good tipper that I had. My earnings after processing fee and an adjustment that I gave her was $92.68. Okay. So I paid $2.88. That's all my processing fee was. However, if I had been on the free version, now you have to take 3.5% of $238.92 and add that to $2.88.
So about $7.
Okay, yeah. So instead of paying
about $7 or
$2.88,
$8,
you'd pay almost $10 instead of $2.88. See the difference, especially if you've got a lot of orders.
So yeah, I definitely think that. I was thinking about it in the car when I was listening to you. It just right, but it just popped in my head that we do need to say something to Joel about that, because I honestly don't think people should be if they're paying, they should not be taken off marketplace.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, if they have a reason that this person sucks, they screwed up, they need to be off, then that would mean you have to be off the whole Dumpling platform. That's different. But if they're allowing you to pay, you should be able to be in marketplace.
Well, and I'm sure, I can't imagine that ever in the history of Dumpling have they had to kick somebody completely off there, have they? Well, I can tell you somebody they should have. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, you can't deactivate.
We had a certain guest on that. I don't know. That honestly, I don't know if he wasn't kicked off though. Now, that's recent too. That guest we had on here.
Yeah, that I could see.
He might be off, and he was one of the initial Dumpling people. Right, but he was one of the first, and he was one of the big builders of it, and he might be gone now.
Well, yeah, you can't really account for what I would call
I know there was a run-in after our situation. There was a run-in with Joel.
Really?
So, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I screwed up. But guys, I've had to take the work I can get. I mean, right now it's Curry's going fire, and I gotta take it.
Steve, it's 5:57. You gotta hop over
Rick.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
next week.
I'll leave you to it.
Do you want to speak
in
2 weeks?
Next week. Yep. And that one I had on the calendar. This one I did too, but huh?
Yeah, it was your idea to come today. And you got to sing now. You got to sing.
I think we're off on sound. Right, I know.
We are a little bit because you're talking and then your mouth.
Okay.
We are.
All right, you guys ready? Y'all ready for this?
We're gonna make him sing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Guys, you got to sing along. You got to sing along at home. Come on. Happy birthday, dear Holly. Happy birthday to you.
And many
more.
All
right. I got to get over to Show Me the Money Club. We'll come back next week.
All right. We'll come back next week, guys. All right. Bye.